Hi everyone, I'm Heaven, the creator and founder of Heaven's Take. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now listen, this is actually a surprise pop-in because I just finished watching the Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 14 episode titled Savagery. I'm hyped, I'm stressed, and I wanted to come talk about it while it was still fresh on my mind. Now, this week's episode of Attack on Titan has been postponed. The release of the full episode has been postponed due to an earthquake that happened today in Japan. So because of this, the episode is currently not available on Funimation or on Crunchyroll, but if you want to watch the 17 minutes of the episode that did air, go check out GoGo Anime or find some of the clips online on YouTube. Now, before we go any further, the entire video will be filled with spoilers. So if you have not watched the 17 minutes that aired, go watch it and then come back, and then we'll talk about some of the theories and thoughts about the episode in the comments. All right, so first of all, I was super hyped for this episode because episode 13 ended with Eren rolling up to Armin and Mikasa on some, I'm trying to sit down and have a conversation, but I will turn into a Titan if y'all try anything. Gabby had also got beat up in episode 13. Falco also has some of Zeke's spinal fluid in his body. It was just a whole lotta. And before I watched the episode, here's what my theory was. So my theory was that Eren was going to obviously come have this conversation with Armin and Mikasa because he needed to know the location of Zeke. That's why him and all the Jaegerists pulled up. They needed to come sit down and say, listen, I need y'all to tell me where Zeke is located, and that's that. But I also figure that Eren may have potentially figured out a way where they could maintain their Titan powers and also live a little bit longer. So in my mind, it would have made sense for him to go to go provide this information to his best friend Armin. And of course, Mikasa is his ride or die, so nothing in me would ever believe that Eren would do anything intentionally to ever hurt his two closest friends. So I was never worried about Armin and Mikasa in this conversation with Eren, but I was hoping that it was some good news on Eren's part, and then after the conversation, Mikasa and Armin would of course choose up with their closest buddy, and they would likely end up going to the forest where it would end up being them versus, Levi, or, if Hanji ended up getting there. But that was just my theory, that was just me thinking through something that could potentially happen. But I don't know, because Attack on Titan is one of those shows where it's really hard to guess what's going to happen next, but you're just so excited to see the episode and to see how everything was going to actually end up playing out. So this episode, it did start off with the conversation with Eren. Armin asking, why did you go attack Marley? Eren's basically like, I had to do what I had to do. And I have a level of clarity that the two of you do not have right now. Eren basically told Armin that due to him, now being the Colossal Titan, he has, inherited Bertolt's memories, and Bertolt is in a way kind of taken over Armin's mind. So Eren had posed the question to Armin. He was like, listen, are you still going to see Annie? Are you still going to visit Annie on a regular basis? And Armin's like, hold on now, how'd you know that? and Armin was like, yeah, I might be going to see her. And Eren was like, exactly, because Bertolt was in love with Annie, so naturally you having his memories and him in some ways now being integrated within you and integrated within your mind means that you are going to have some of those feelings for Annie. That's why you're going to visit her. Armin was low-key not trying to hear that. Then Eren also told Mikasa that, due to her Ackerman blood, that is what gives her strength, and we know that, but it's also what makes her blindly protective over Eldians, especially Eren, which is why no matter what situation Eren has ever ended up in, Mikasa was always there to protect him. So with that said, after Eren told Armin and Mikasa that they're basically either being controlled and they really have no control over their current actions, He then proceeded to get real disrespectful with Mikasa, and I just did not like it. He told Mikasa that she was basically a slave, and if there's one thing that he hates, especially now that he has reached this level of clarity, is that he hates people who do not have their own free will. And because of this, when they were younger, it would make him mad looking at her. He even told her, when we were kids, I used to hate you, Mikasa. Eren, why would you say this to her? Why would you say this to the girl that you know loves you? In that moment, she started crying. Her heart essentially broke. To hear those words come out of Eren's mouth, I hate you, Mikasa. Come on now. You did not have to get all disrespectful. Like, as a matter of fact, you basically came over here to have a conversation with them, to break Mikasa's heart, tell Armin he's being controlled, and to get a location to proceed on with a plan that as of right now, we don't even know what it is. So I was just not feeling that at all from Eren. It definitely made me feel some type of way. And so it also made Armin feel some type of way. Armin ended up punching him right in the face, and then Eren ended up beating him up. So I'm just like, damn, like, you did not just roll up to talk to your two best friends, the two people that have been with you since day one. You decided that you and the other Jaegerist, you guys are now on such another level that you have the audacity to come harm your friends? Eren, I can't even rock with you in the same way. Now, on the other side of this episode is the scene that's taking place with Zeke and Levi in the forest. So Zeke and Levi are sitting down in the forest, but before we get to them having a conversation, Levi is wrapping up a conversation with his soldiers, where he is basically telling them that one of them will end up eating Zeke, because we do not trust Zeke, and we want to get the Beast Titan powers from Zeke. So one of them is going to end up eating him. It is what it is. We're just going to wait and see. This is where our location is at. They need to go get some messages down to HQ. And then we go on. So Levi hops back down. He talks with Zeke, who has been sitting down in the same spot, reading the same book about 6-7 times. Now, somehow within this conversation, Zeke literally hopped up and started running away. And as he hopped up and started running away, Levi was almost in shock, like, where is he going? Like, I can catch you. Like, where are you going? Like, there's a whole bunch of soldiers that are like ready to stop you. But as Zeke is running away, he starts yelling, and it dawned on me that everyone in that damn forest had been drinking Zeke's spinal fluid. Everyone in that forest had been drinking the spinal fluid except Levi. So as soon as Zeke ran away and started yelling, they all turned into titans. The amount of stress that just shot up in my blood watching this episode, because now Levi is surrounded by his comrades that are all titans. And granted, we have definitely been in a situation like this before. Levi can always handle his own amongst titans, but the thing is, these titans were actually moving a lot faster than they should have been. I mean, Levi had his, he had his gear on. He was able to navigate between the trees, but the titans were climbing quickly. They were running quickly. I was actually really worried and concerned for Levi, but I remained hopeful. Like, there is nothing that can actually break this man. So I was worried, but we flip screens, and when we see that Zeke is being held by one of the titans that he's controlling, and he's, essentially having a conversation with himself, because he ain't having a conversation with one of the titans that are essentially running with him, and he is having a flashback to a conversation that he was having with Eren. So that is something that we will, eventually have to figure out what happened. We have to figure out what conversation happened between Eren and Zeke. when Eren had invaded Marley, when he was pretending to be a wounded soldier. We have to figure out what that conversation was. So as he is reflecting on that, he also says that they are headed to where it all happens, Eren's hometown. So that is actually where their rendezvous point is supposed to be. So that also means that Eren is now on his way to the rendezvous point at his hometown, and he is going to be taking Mikasa, Armin, and Gabby, and all the Jaegerists and whomever else they end up rounding up with him to meet there. So Zeke is still proceeding forward, and guess who rolls up behind him like, you thought you were getting away, but here I am. It's Levi. How many times is Zeke gonna take this L? How many times is Zeke gonna let Levi give him this work? I thought, maybe this might be Zeke's moment, because at this point he consistently gets dropped by Levi. But at this point, Levi's pissed off. You just put him in a situation where he had to kill all of his current soldiers. You have turned them all into Titans. He didn't trust you to begin with. As a matter of fact, he wanted to drop you as soon as he saw you. And now look at you, going off with a hidden agenda and plan. This man is not messing around with you, and Levi was not messing around. Levi gave Zeke that work all over again. Zeke ended up having to turn into the Beast Titan, and that did absolutely none for him because Levi still gave him that work, but Levi can't kill him yet. So Zeke ends up coming out of his Titan form messed up. So now he has to heal, and Levi's like, I can't kill you yet, but when I get the chance to, it's a wrap for you. And that's where the episode ended, because the episode was only 17 minutes. So we are missing a couple of minutes here. I'm not sure, what the next scene is. And I also have not seen the trailer for the next episode. Now, the only other item that I will mention for this episode is as Zeke was running away from Levi and he was yelling and all of the soldiers in the forest turned into Titans, we also saw that on the other side of that, Falco, the other MPs, and started feeling electricity throughout their body. They've all been drinking the wine. The only reason that they didn't turn into Titans is because they were not close enough to Zeke. But essentially, they will eventually turn into Titans at Zeke's command. There is just a whole lot going on. This show is definitely stressful. It definitely keeps me on my toes. I'm definitely hype. I can't wait for a full episode to drop so I can go ahead and watch what I missed. And then we can start thinking about what's going to happen for episode 15. But in my viewpoint, this is not the same Attack on Titan, because this is also not the same Eren. Our main character is no longer the same. Eren in season 1, Eren in season 2, hell, Eren in season 3 would literally have never beat up Armin. As a matter of fact, he would have never hit Armin. That's first and foremost. He would have never said something so hurtful to Mikasa, like saying, I hate you. This is not the same Eren. And the fighting style that today's Eren has is also very different. Even as he was fighting the Warhammer Titan, the Jaw Titan, just watching him just sort of rip off their limbs, fighting aggressively, drinking blood, like that's not the same Eren. So knowing that, I want to believe that I can trust him. I want to believe that he has good intentions, but at this point, I'm kind of unsure. And I know for sure I don't trust Zeke, and I never have. The only people that you really can trust at this point is Levi. You can always trust Mikasa. Armin has always been very straightforward as well. But Eren, right now, you're kind of on the fence with me, buddy. But I do want to know what your thoughts, theories, and predictions are, especially coming up for episode 15, and the direction that you think the show is going in. We still have a lot of story left to cover, and so there will still be plenty of episodes that we will be able to have conversations around. Now, I am actually going to be going back to season 4 and doing some recaps and reviews for some of the earlier episodes, but I was too excited, and I wanted to come pop in just to share this specific review. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.